So in this brief tutorial, we're going to talk about basic selection features in Excel, and what we mean by that is just highlighting chunks of data. There's a few ways to do it, and these are the keys to remember. You got your shift key and moving around with the arrows. One of the most popular ways is hitting the Ctrl shift key with the arrows, and that's a quick way to get selections in a table. And here's ones that not everybody knows about, but you can select entire rows with shift space or an entire column with control space. And these are really cool, especially if you want to like delete an entire row or column. You use these to select them and then delete them later. We're going to learn about that too. So let's jump right in. Let's discuss the basic selection commands in Excel. And you know, some of this stuff I just showed you, but it's important, so I'm going to show you again. You know, a lot of this learning shortcuts is about repetition and practicing the shortcuts. Sometimes it seems a little boring, but it's really going to pay off when you're just hitting those. It's second nature, just hitting those keys while you focus around on the work you're trying to accomplish. So anyway, what we just talked about, let's jump to highlighting like an entire row. So remember, Control and right will move to the end of the data. Well, Control Shift right will highlight that entire row. Well, the entire selection. So that was pressing Control Shift Enter. So if you want to highlight just to the next cell, you would just press Shift and the right key. So we just went over these two. So what if you want to do the entire row? You can get the entire row that way. But another way to do that is press Shift and space, and then you can just press the down button and move down as many rows as you want, and that that gets more than the selection data. It gets all the data across the worksheet. So make sure that's really what you want before you try it. And then we can also get an entire column using Control space. So similar but a little different. Whoops. Control space, and then holding the controls, you got to press Control space, but you got to then press the Shift key to hold that down to move. So that one's a little bit trickier. So right here, Control space, gotta hold Shift after. So keep that in mind. Let's try it again. So I want to get that line, and then if I try to go to the next line just by holding the Control key, it's not going to do it. So let's try Control Shift space. Yep, Control Shift space gets a little bit of everything. So Control space, still holding Control, and press down the Shift key, and then move over right. That's a little tricky, not going to lie. So we got this block of data right here, and if we just want to get everything in here, I do this myself, but Control Shift down, Control Shift right gets everything. However, a much quicker way, say you're in the center of the data, just press Control A. That'll get you all your data. So you don't have to hold that Shift button I just talked about. You just press Control A, that gets you all your data. It's called Select All, but it really doesn't do Select All until you press Control A again. So Control A, and then still holding Control, press A again, and you get everything and the entire worksheet. So that's really cool, because you're going to see some stuff later where you create a table, and the first thing you want to do is select your data set, and this is going to come in handy.